Hello everyone, and today we are looking at the astrology charts of Marilyn Monroe and Nicole Smith. I originally called this video the Nymphs of the Gods, but looking at the charts I actually changed the title, and it's still, my cats are running around the table. We're ready to start. Let's see what name transpires, because this is all really an open book here. So I've got two dates, Nicole Smith and Marilyn Monroe. I don't think these ladies need any introduction, so we're just gonna jump right from the origins. This is Marilyn Monroe's chart. So what to me is the most amazing and also hard to decipher is Leo rising with the Neptune in the first house on the rising sign. And that to me is exactly why personally when I look at Marilyn Monroe's photograph, any photograph, doesn't matter, I kind of never get enough. Never get enough of, I don't even know what, like something about that first house, like that physicality and that presence and that like here I am-ness has this elusive Neptune. What is that really captivates each one of us with Marilyn Monroe and her status as an icon? And you could argue she was an icon of style, or icon in like history, or like an urban legend even. And also the icon of the Leonian sense of something so special, that's so unique, so special. Yeah, the Leo archetype is ruled by the sun. So you can whether be warmly welcomed by the sun, or you can be burned by the sun. So in case of Marilyn Monroe, she's got the sun with Mercury in Gemini in the 10th house of like public affairs, you know, the career. And she was like that shining, inquisitive, dutiful messenger to the masses. And this is like a proper connection here. And also with this Neptune here, we're looking at the first house, and it would be nice to look at Mars because they correlate to each other. And we have Mars in Pisces, not far from Uranus, in the 8th house, the house of common shared affairs. And being in Pisces, it's not a great Mars, I would say. And in the house of the hidden affairs as well. We've got something already cooking here between these three houses. So definitely this Neptune on the ascendant, on the Leo rising with Neptune in the first house, it gives you a brilliant actress, actor, model, icon, stylistic embellishment, Neptune and Leo. Elusive, you can look at it and you can never get enough. It's vast as the sea of different, I would say even masks but they're not masks. They're really felt because it's Neptune. They're real because Neptune's ruled sign is Pisces, and we have Mars in Pisces. So something is definitely happening here. And then the Sun and Mercury in Gemini are squaring. We've got Juno in Pisces. So that's in the house of relationships. It's squaring that. So this persona, this public thing here, and the relationships, and the Juno is like the wife archetype in the house of relationships. All of this is sort of like lurking on the other side of this elusive image of I am in the first house, which is actually not personal image, but shared image. It's a commodity image, and it's like with a really flowy mutual flow of energy here between Neptune ruled sign Pisces with Mars and Uranus there too, where the whole thing is actually happening. The 12th house with Pluto on North Node in Cancer. And they are making a grand trine, both of those. All of those are making a trine, a grand trine, which is absolutely insane, to the retrograde Saturn in, oh my God, Scorpio. Yeah, I mean, if I had a client's chart like that, which would have obviously mean that they would live long enough for me to be able to figure this out. But what I'm saying here is that whatever happened to Marilyn was a premeditated destiny, in my opinion, considering all the factors. We've got 12th house with the North Node in Cancer, with Pluto there, right there, 3 degrees apart, and all of this is in the 12th house, with the house of the unknown. And Cancer is ruled by Moon, and it's also the ruler of the 4th house. And relationships, family, relationships, the 7th house, the Moon there, and family. It's all like, it's a lot of exchanges. It's a lot of like, but what for? What for? Like, it's unknown. It's unknown what for, because the 12th house is the house of the subconscious. She didn't know what was her true mission. She thought it was something always bigger than herself. It was something bigger and more powerful and more, like she would really try to fit in the relationship to make it work for the good of all. So we've got a grand trine between the water signs. This is a very emotional person, very like she took family matters seriously. But again, with considering like Marilyn never had children, had abortions, and always wanted to have family, this one didn't really help. Like Saturn, retrograde Saturn in Scorpio in the 4th house didn't help. Yeah, absolutely squaring this Neptune in Leo in the 1st house. It was always her common commodity image, was a common commodity. It was serving the interests, and something had to give, and it was mostly Marilyn herself. With this Neptune here, is just like, this one is the anchor of the chart. Like, there's always something that's kind of putting the focal point of the chart for more like making sense purposes. I think this would be it, even though it's hard to explain. It's like, imagine like a golden dust, literally golden dust in your face, where you razzle dazzled, but underneath there at the roots, deep issues are lurking, and it's actually, some people can use it against you, because if they know something, they can use it against you. So you better be serving the bigger thing that has so much power. So, and it was sort of like kind of in the script, I feel like for the soul purposes. North Node in the 12th house. I have North Node in the 12th house, and it's like spirituality, trying to find meaning in all things, putting the bigger picture at work, like literally what I love doing. But mine is in Pisces. This one is in Cancer, so it's ruled by the moon, and the moon is in the 7th house, the relationships. So she had to absolutely whether give her emotions to the side and say like, I'm just doing this now, I'm acting, I'm this icon, I'm whatever, 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 whatever. And this is how I feel, husband, me, relationship, Jupiter, like husband, wife together in the 7th house of relationships. Where's her Venus? Venus in, because Venus rules the 7th house, is in Aries, and again ruled by like it's in Aries, so it's ruled by Mars, and it's like she really wanted a good relationship that would make her feel like, like a regal, adorned figure. She wanted to be loved, but from a real serious place, not as this other thing that played out. Yeah, and that's kind of like, the gist of it. And we have Jupiter in a sextile to Jupiter and Aquarius in a sextile to Venus in Aries. That means she was open, her mind was open. She had ideas about how things in relationship can go, and it would be more like friendship based because it's Aquarius, and she will be like a determined traveler and cherishing, exploring new things and trying new things experientially. So she was willing to make this Neptune in the 1st house in Leo work with that Venus. But again, that Venus here, did it really help her, being in Mars? So she's got like a very like masculine sort of Venus and a very like limpy Mars. And I think that's where the imbalance was, and that's why like she had to sort of blend in, what to whatever was supposed to be whatever. I honestly don't think she was like this hyper blonde, I would say, like this atomic blonde. I don't think she was that. With that Venus in Aries, in the 9th house, I feel she was very like open and ready to talk, and all sorts of quirky, unconventional relationships. They could possibly be fine if everyone, is nourished and taken care of, and not just on the physical, but also on the spiritual and also on the intellectual plane, like nourished. And she was willing, she was open, she was willing, she was sacrificial enough, and she had the hologram skills. She could put anything on, and it's gonna rock. It's gonna be seen and be talked about. Very wonderful. But then again, this one, I really would love to know exactly what happened on the day that Marilyn passed. So we're gonna have a look at that, and yeah, we're gonna see what transpired, because I feel like here, this one and this one, Pluto in Cancer on the North Node in Cancer, trining Saturn, and that Mars in Pisces and Uranus. This is our enigma we're trying to solve. So what exactly happened? Was it premeditated? Was it accidental? Was it in relationship to someone else? So is the same qualities I was talking before, shared commodity and higher, bigger than me sort of thing going on here, related to the family, to powerful people in the family. And if we're going to really dig deeper, like probably need to look at what was happening at the time of Marilyn Monroe's death on that day. And then it's sort of like perhaps gonna open our eyes. We'll see. So for now, I put my bets because I haven't seen properly. Like I did like have a look, but I didn't like study it for ages. So pretty much freestyle here. But I do bet about this Mars. Do bet on the Mars a lot, because if there is Mars, we can say that it was a related to the ones that we would actually never know. Like it's funny because it just says it here. Whatever was that North Node, you know, like that guiding sort of impulse there. Whatever it was beyond sometimes our even comprehension or understanding, and maybe it's for the better. Yeah, sometimes things like that are just like that because it's the 12th house when we never really know. But something, if you really decipher it, something is related to this Neptune here in Leo, and that is related to the sun. So someone in the public eye, and yeah, I think looking at the date of her passing would actually give us more answers, but I don't know. Let's see where the mystery beholds. And then we're gonna study Anna Nicole Smith's chart, just like that, and have a look at her day of passing and see if there is anything in common in the charts, and you know, what's the common theme here, and maybe even compare their charts together at the end and seeing maybe we can draw some final conclusions and finally name this video. Because originally I wanted nymphs of the gods, but I mean, I don't know, that would be shitty gods if they were Pluto in Cancer and the North Node there in the 12th house. Like, I mean, it would be nice if there was Jupiter there or something like, you know, rainbows and unicorns. But no, this is boom. This is a serious chart. This is a mystery chart, and like investigation worthy. We'll see what happened. Well, we hope we find out. All right. So I was already. All right. So yeah, this is the date, and here we have. Well, first and foremost, I just want to look at the date separate. You guys gonna be knocked out. So we've got Neptune in Scorpio. Don't look at the house, it doesn't matter really. But Neptune is in Scorpio, and it's trining Jupiter in Pisces on top of Chiron in Pisces. So everything in Pisces related gets like, and just zoomed in, zoomed out, expanded, and thoroughly, you know, like, what is it called? When you just like put the salmon, seared salmon on the frying pan, and it's like psh. So this is Pisces with the Chiron. Yeah, a lot of stuff happening in Leo, and well, interesting. So this is the date. All of this Leo stuff is on Marilyn's ascendant. Just past, like a month before, just past this zone here. So something happened a month before her passing. Some shenanigans. So if we can really want to really investigate, we have to do all the dates, study all the dates, and go, you know, create a whole timeline. I mean, it's all possible. Like, we can go back to when she was becoming a critically acclaimed. It's thunderstorm here in Sydney. Career decline, last 2 years of her life, her marriage dates, all of these things. If you put them around, like put them on top of each other, and they tell a great story. And sometimes just looking at things makes you put conclusions and make opinions and say, yeah, I think this is what happened. How could it not? So on the day of her passing, Jupiter was on her Juno. And Chiron was on her Juno. So that's a start. And it's all related to her Neptune once again. And the messenger Mercury was on Neptune on that day. Not far. Fast approaching. And that's the Neptune we were talking about. So literally on the bottom of her sky. So whatever was happening here from the get-go was starting to get really, really deeply looked at. So her home, her family. I mean, I even watched that movie about her, and it was beautifully cinematic, and everything was just really cool and artistic about it. But they didn't, like, they showed it in the hot colors, they showed it like, I had a jet lag after watching that film. I don't know if I want to watch it again, to be honest. Maybe in a while, maybe after this video, I don't know. And yeah, this her looking for her dad, like dad, and that. This is that Saturn in Scorpio, retrograde, and it's kind of close-ish to, yeah, to even Uranus, and it's making a grand trine, as we know she has, between that Saturn in Scorpio and freaking Pluto in Cancer. And it's all like in respective houses, so to say, like it's all water houses, but it's different water signs for each house. So it's just like she never found the answers. She never found the answers about her father, and never found any answers. If she lived longer, she would have, I feel, she would have resolved, but I don't know. Feels like with this Neptune here, it was whether gonna go really good or like and healing and this and that, or really depressing and just going deeper and deeper into the issue and drowning in the, downward spiral. Because, Neptune in Scorpio, it's intense, and at the bottom of the chart, it's just darkest, deepest waters with Titanic ghosts around, like, and it's all about the father, about the authority, about the home. I mean, yeah, her childhood and her roots and all that. It was, not the warmest of the places, especially having like her moon in Aquarius. It's friendly, but you know, it's just, yeah, it's not the typical warm doll's house, with the fireplace and stuff. It does not vibe like that. It's very insecure, sterile environment. And this makes sense because that's why she had to use that Venus in Aries. She had to really embrace that fire and heal through that in establishing her femininity and that women are not just that, but it's like she was doing all these things, you know, she was working hard and she was doing and searching, expanding the ninth house, expanding herself, expanding her boundaries, expanding her ego, expanding her personality, her beauty, all these, like, you know, she like was squeezing the juice, you know, with her presence. And something happened. Something happened. Let's see. Oh, okay. What did I just do? Oh, God. Okay, here we go. It's all good in the hood. Так. So we've got that Jupiter in Pisces on her Juno. And something very interesting for me is that on this day we have actually, let's see if we can. Was it like an eclipse? Was it an eclipse or something? Back eclipses. So 30th of July. Oh my God. So she was dead within the eclipse window. Okay, so she died within the eclipse window. Oh my goodness. So lunar eclipse, full moon in Capricorn. And the 31st, we have a new moon in Leo. And that's a solar eclipse. So we had a lunar full moon eclipse, and then we have solar annular eclipse. Okay. So she died. Wow, that's crazy. Within the eclipse window. What does it mean? Well, eclipse windows, they're always like, woo, huge change, you know, like your life changes. Literally, it was like you were watching a series of your life in like Breaking Bad colors and cinematography, and now you are in the, like, I don't know, Grey's Anatomy colors and script and characters. It's like the eclipses happen every, like, you're pretty much in a different show. Yeah, in different show, a different everything, and it happens every 6 months. But then if you look at the like pairs, and then if you look at the cycles, they kind of repeat themselves. So like we literally live in a DNA strain cell. To be honest, I feel sometimes life is just it's sometimes crazily ironic. And yeah, well, that's investigation continues. Okay, so oh God, yeah, well, that's very interesting. So just before that was yeah, before that, 2 weeks before that was a lunar eclipse in Capricorn. And for her, it is here on the south node, right? 24. Yeah, well, close to, in the sixth house. So she She has an eclipse in her sixth house, and this is opposite these guys. So already we are on the right path, and it's okay. Her death is related to Pluto in Cancer on top of her north node. Hence, it is related to this guy, this Saturn in Scorpio, and it's retrograde in the fourth house. Not far from it is Neptune, supporting our theory, our claim that it's all related to Neptune, Pluto, all the 12th house stuff. And yeah, I mean, and on the day of her death, we have the North Node in the sky with the sun there. The sun just passed it over, and Juno in Cancer on the last degree. And we have her Juno conjunct Jupiter in the Neptune 12th house ruled Pisces on top of Chiron. So whatever her death was in relation to a known powerful force, as she was involved like a wife with someone, and this will be someone who would like make her feel like a wife or whatever. And something happens with this person, and it's related to dissolving the structural relationship with that. And yeah, it's all appearances, and of course there's deeper stuff happening there, the unknown, like, I mean, I couldn't even know. But like, if there is any conspiracy or something like that, if it would be related to that Jupiter figure. And yeah, something Jupiter related, you know. All right, well, let's go on the day of her passing with where Jupiter is, what's doing. So yeah, I mean, and here, look, it's doing, it's with Chiron, trining, absolutely, exactly trining, and it's retrograde, Chiron retrograde, trining Neptune in Scorpio. So we don't know which Jupiter, which guy, we don't know. It could be absolutely someone we don't even know. And because of him and, you know, the powers at play, blah, blah. Because, look, these guys, Jupiter and Chiron in Pisces are opposing Pluto in Virgo. And Venus is in there too with Virgo. So I guess this Jupiter guy was even not the bad guy, but I mean, not bad, good, come on, like, but like, he's not the villain here. The villain is the Pluto in Virgo. Virgo is ruled by Mercury. What do we know about this Pluto? It's ruled by Mercury, and Mercury is literally on the sun. The sun is going to be eclipsed soon after. Juno is about to enter Leo, and it's these two here again. Like, wow. Like, yeah, we don't know which way it's gonna go. So it feels like Pluto in Virgo was the one who wanted control and the things going by method and by order, and without this idealistic, really broad viewpoint. You know what I mean? It's like really peculiar day. Like, look at this structure here. Like Saturn in Aquarius on the south node opposing the sun, and Mercury and north node in Leo, like, and then this face off between Pluto in Virgo and Jupiter and Chiron in Pisces. It's like, Anything is possible, any idea is possible, who needs what idea, and what's the order, how it should it be like that or not? And the hidden meaning is in letting the shit go, letting it go. And yeah, it's just, I think it was like a filtering. It's like whatever happened to Marilyn was like a filter. A filter. She was a filter, and then she needed one. Well, she didn't need it, but they thought she did. And that's what that Neptune in Leo is. And this is where these guys are, the Pluto and Virgo on that day. Like, these ones are the guys. And it's all behind the scenes, behind the closed doors. Nobody would know. So, I mean, if it feels dodgy, it is. To me, at least. I mean, in my opinion, it's dodgy. But if you think otherwise, maybe I missed something, let me know in the comments. So, and yeah, Capricorn South Node here, and on the day we have had a lunar eclipse, and then boom shakalaka, the freaking, like, that's where the eclipse is gonna be, like, next one, you know, like, the moon is gonna, I think it's already happened, like, it's about to happen. 4th of August. Yeah, it's already happened. So it's already happened. And then, yeah, that's wild. Yeah, so, I mean, all because of the Jupiter and his issues. And Jupiter would be her relationship. Because, yeah. I think it was like a, I don't even know, to be honest. I mean, like, I'm still figuring it out. Would it be, obviously, because it would be because of a relationship. But I mean, so what's the big deal with that? I think it's about the information, because she's got the sun, because like Leo is ruled by the sun. Her sun is with Mercury together in a really good Mercury in Gemini. So maybe it's like, oh, this figure is so holographic, so elusive, so powerful, so iconic, that the information that is in the public eye in the 10th house is there. They really felt like, even though Marilyn was like kind of swayed by these dark unknown forces of like this emotional matter, when it came to what she was talking about and what she was saying was always very refined and lighthearted and elevated. And my personal opinion, I feel that she was believed to be the beacon of the wrong light, and the light that is not needed at the time, or not within the book, not correct at the moment. And I feel that even though the end was very too soon and very tragic, there's still this sense that whatever happened in there, that like her soul has fulfilled the evolutionary trajectory, like projection, to merge, to dissolve with one, to heal psychological issues and family issues, and do it through relationship, through friendship, through understanding, through commitment. Definitely a lot of goal setting, but the soul really wanted to find the answers. And it's interesting because, like, we still don't have real answers. And what does it teach us? Not having answers and not knowing who you are and why you're here, but being that beacon and looking for that expansive, beautiful relationship. Yeah. I don't know what else to say. I think I will just leave it here, and I'm gonna continue with Anna Nicole Smith and same sort of breakdown, and then we'll see, maybe even compare the two charts together. Hello, and we continue with Anna Nicole Smith's natal chart, and the objective is to have a look at the overall chart theme and to see if there is anything that corresponds to the themes that there were at Marilyn Monroe's chart reading and exploration and investigation on the day of Marilyn's passing. So now we are looking at Anna Nicole Smith's chart, and also I've got the day of Anna's passing handy to see if there is anything we can extract to understand better possible experience, and whatever it transpires here, just put it as my opinion. My opinion on my interpretation, using astrology as a prism to look at what possibly was the experience in this particular situation. And Anna Nicole's got Libra rising. And as Marilyn, she's got an interesting first house. For Anna Nicole, it is a stellium in Libra with Moon and Venus literally on the same degree on top of each other. Not far, Juno at 24 and 3 degrees, 27. After 27 degrees, we have South Node in Libra. All of this is in the first house, house of self. So the shooting star for Anna Nicole was all Venusian things, and whoever was in the room with Anna Nicole would definitely notice her and just see that, force of nature, a beautiful woman. And yes, she knows that. She knows that she's beautiful, but yeah, she's more focused on whatever other people do, and she's got a North Node in Aries in the 7th house. So her shining star is, yes, I know I'm beautiful. Yes, I know I'm striking. But what do you got? And let's see where Mars is, because North Node is in Aries, since we know that her very dignified Venus is on top of Moon on her ascendant. Crazy. That's just crazy. With Juno and the South Node conjunct, it's that same theme, but for Marilyn was the opposite. It was Everything in the first house was like blurred out by Neptune. It was all like literally paint, like a canvas. You can just paint on it. No, with Anna Nicole, everything is set in marble. Beautiful sculpture. You look at it, it's beautiful, you know it. But we've been here before. What do you got? What do you got? What do you got to give? What are you gonna do? What are we gonna do for each other? This is Anna Nicole. A bit more hands-on, I would say. The energy is, I feel more grounded with Anna Nicole. Even though it's still all, you know, alive and moving. Nothing is like literally a marble figure, and that's all I mean. That's all she is. No, of course not. It's very conceptual and very, you know, whoever throws dirt on Anna Nicole is like trash bag. I would not say so. Looking even just purely at this beautiful first house in Libra, just all of these really beautiful arrangements, like, you know, everything just works together. That's ideal situation, like this idealized view of Anna Nicole. And also she knows that. She knows that. And she has a yawn, a big yawn about that. Is it spoiled? I wouldn't judge, because she wants to know who else, what else. She wants to see project. She wants to project. I mean, poor Marilyn, she was projected on, but Anna Nicole wants to project. She wants to project, and she wants to show you as well. Like, not just steal things, but also be original. Like, she wants to show the golden ratio and how you can, you can do it. She wants to share. And she wants to see what you have to share. So very very dynamic. Yeah. And guess what? Of course, 12th house. And we got Pluto there. It's just same with Marilyn Monroe, who had Pluto in the 12th house. I'm not kidding you guys. She had it with the North Node in Cancer, and like she had like a massive water trine between Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio, with like the nastiest planets, malefics, really, and she had to deal with that. And Anna Nicole has Pluto in Virgo. I'm just having like, I really hope that Marilyn is not the Anna Nicole's, is the reincarnation of Anna Nicole. I really hope not. And she's got Pluto on Uranus, and that is trining her Mars in Capricorn. Really headstrong situation here. And again, as you can see, a trine between the 12th and the 4th house, same as with Marilyn. For Marilyn, it's water signs, and for Anna Nicole, it's earth signs. And yeah, of course, as I was saying, we do have same story, daddy issues. And I think in Anna Nicole's case, it's, if in Marilyn's case, it was like the unknown, like more psychological, haunting, very secretive. Like here, it's very real, visceral, in your face. And if you don't know that it's there, you feel the consequences, the anxieties, the sabotage, and self-criticism. So this is what was Anna Nicole's situation. Because we do have it in earth signs, they're a bit more like it's a bit more physical, visceral, and more like in your face, so to say, like more hardcore. But you know what? Sometimes things don't have to be clumpy and visceral and physical for them to be hardcore. You know, like what Marilyn had here in the fourth house with this sort of composition and the Saturn in Scorpio in the fourth house. It's freaking intense. I don't know what was like. What happened to what was Marilyn Monroe's mom like? It doesn't look like it was. It could be okay, but I mean, what was with her mom? What's the story there? Her mom was born in Mexico. So there was a kidnapping. Oh goodness. So yeah, they married like her mom married John Newton Baker at 15, abusive man, 9 years her senior. They had two children together and blah blah blah, and then she successfully filed for divorce and sole custody of her two oldest. But Baker kidnapped the children soon after and moved with them to his native Kentucky. Jesus Lord. So yeah, that's not good, whatever that was. And we have Mars in Capricorn here. So there it was like Scorpio related themes, constrictions, mine, yours. Here it's like, okay, what's the structure? What's the deal here? How are we going to manage it? And obviously there was a conflict of power in terms of who and what runs the show, as like in sixth house, Saturn in Aries, like everyday show, versus what is what is better for the bigger picture. So the interest of the authority figure versus the interest of like a bigger picture and how they affect the family matters and what is done and what is not done within the family. So that's Anna Nicole's. So she was, if you look at her early life, um, she was raised by her mom and her family. Well, it was not. It was not like she was having a very active role in her household. So it was like, a lot of work to be organized, a lot of help to be done, helping around the household, like active. She was involved in the home matters, and very strict lifestyle and just like a regime, so to say. Like you get your regime, it works nicely, it all helps, but like sometimes, what do I actually want to do? What do I want to do, and can you do it? Can you really do it, or is it all just whatever the other person says, or what is, you're projecting the other person saying, and then you kind of give it as an excuse of doing this or that. And a lot of escape that Anna Nicole sort of like, if she did, like, because the 12th house is also what for both Marilyn Monroe and Anna Nicole Smith. The 12th house for both of them works also as escapism, and they did pills, as far as I'm concerned, and that is the form of escapism. And I mean, if you really read it like that, death, like Pluto, by you know the unresolved trauma and escapism that was sort of in the, like, it was just lubricated and flowing here. And voila. Same thing, different day. And yeah, escapism. But with Virgo, it's oh my God, I just had an epiphany. Here, escapism is in Cancer, so like she wanted to escape the powerful and the mighty and the bigger pictures and the stuff and this and that. And she also wanted to escape maybe being addicted through having a family, through being serious in the family. And Saturn in Scorpio was like that, out like that gate. But she needed support. She needed support. She needed support. She needed everything established. Yeah, and it worked out the way it did. No, she didn't get what she wanted. Oh, I mean, she kind of did. She disappeared into nothing. 12th house, that means just she was there and then she's not. And that's what happened. So if Marilyn, let's hypothesize that she evolved evolutionary configuration with the North Node in the 12th house was fulfilled and she dissolved and that was it. What happened with Anna Nicole, and did she perform the evolutionary gateway of her life with the North Node in Aries in the house of relationship, but like seventh house is ruled by Venus, and Venus is in Libra, so it's all like inverted. So again, we're dealing with someone who is she should have gone away from relying on that body, towards being active in her relationships. But because she knows how to be active in particular way, it's kind of squaring that. So, like, if there was anything that Anna Nicole needed was a serious and supportive home environment, and I think she would be fine. She wouldn't go on like, hard on that thing, and she would continue to shine, you know. I'm curious what happened on the day of Anna's passing. Let's just see. So yeah, we have Juno on her Juno on her south node. Oh my God. We've got Juno on her south node. And the moon is right there. Oh my goodness. Mars, return of Mars. Yeah, very interesting. Let's see what happened on this day. Sun on Neptune. It's all the 12th house things. It's all every single. The more I do like these charts, like these tragedies, like personal people's day when they die, and what astrologically was happening, and sometimes like the most like mysterious deaths or the most strange or just like untimely. I mean, any death could be untimely, but like really early, like or like just like not nice, like not the best timing. And it's all related to the unknown, the mystery, the Neptune. It's just like universe. I love it. Like you've got the answer, no answer. Day in, day out. Sun is on Neptune. And we have 4 planets in Pisces ruled by Neptune. So Mercury in Pisces, Uranus with Venus and the North Node in Pisces. So Uranus is like this unexpected, like accident thing, and Neptune could be, yeah, well, this kind of screams, Neptune could be also like, drugs and stuff. So yeah, I think too much or not enough, something like that. And then it's again the North Node here, so it's similar to Marilyn, like the North Node in the 12th house in Pluto. And here we have in the sky at the day of Nicole's passing, North Node on Venus. So she is Libra rising, ruled by Venus, with Venus there and the South Node there in the first house. It's like a theme. It's a theme. It's a Venusian theme, and Venus is what? Relationships, body, and satiated desire and comfort and values, and just everything embodying anything. So, excuse me, I just. Ay, 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 ay. Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, too much she took, and it happened. Okay, yeah, you see, interesting. I want to kind of have a look at 7th of September 2006. Mm, oops. Um, uh-huh. Okay, well, good news. Good news. I have, even though Anna did die prematurely through overdose, still, the day her daughter was born, so it was September 2006, and Anna died shortly after in the February 2007. And you know what, guys? It's really interesting how this works because so this inner circle is Anna's natal chart, her date of birth. Second one is the birth of daughter, and the out one is the date of Anna Nicole's passing. So look at the date of birth of daughter and a North Node conjunct Chiron, and healing. So the healing, what happened through that birth, and or it's like, sometimes we are born to do just like that particular thing to kind of discharge the karma, or like, you know, like nothing happens just because, I feel like things happen sometimes. And yeah, we've got like on the same place, Venus was there, and like Uranus went, yeah, it's just very mystical. Very mystical here. Mystical story with the Pisces. Yeah, because it's not far off. So yeah, it's just some months. Of course, planets are going to be sort of like around, but this one is in particularly interesting. North Node conjunct non-Nicole's Chiron in Pisces, 25 degrees. And I would suggest this is the key to solve, you know, if let's say Anne Nicole lived on and her daughter and her, they would really, really dug through any anything that needs to be flashed and looked at and healed, and deep work, deep spiritual work, and that would heal, you know, definitely heal. But again, it's the 12th house, so maybe whatever played out, you know, is the way it is, and mystically so it is, for that healing, for that growth. And I don't know, sensitive topic, what can you say? So I feel that here we have, I guess, figured it out. And I actually kind of want to see, I want to see if she got married with this guy and on what day. June 27, 1994. All right, what was cracking with her then? What? It's like Juno is on her moon and on her ascendant, of course, the wife. Juno is the wife. And then look, Chiron is on her Jupiter. And that means that Chiron is gonna, I'm gonna heal your daddy issues, honey. Yeah, very interesting. But again, all just chance, everything is uncertain, a lot of uncertainty. Neptune and Uranus here almost conjunct on Mars in the house of family. And it's all squaring Juno and the South Node, and Jupiter is here in Scorpio, and we've got in the 8th house, we've got Mars in Taurus on the South Node in Taurus. I mean, oh my God. Well, yeah, that's what I was looking at. So you've got North Node and Pluto in Scorpio, Jesus, opposite Mars in Taurus and the South Node. Power struggles in relationships. And yeah, revolutionary, unconventional, offbeat approach. Was this love? I mean, of course, we've got like trine, Sun and Mercury trining Jupiter. But a lot of like retrograde planets, you know, Mercury retrograde, Jupiter retrograde, Saturn retrograde in Pisces. It's again like this water theme here, very powerful water theme. Same with Marilyn, you know, like she had that, like, so all the guys that she had, they were like this all or nothing kind of guy, kind of guys. And yeah, well, here was the same thing with Aunt Nicole when she was getting married. All or nothing day. let's do it. Like, doesn't matter what happened. We'll just do it, and then we know how to do it, honey. I said it. Yeah. Okay, well, yeah, it's yeah. I just want to show you something interesting, and we're going to wrap up. Anna Nicole and Marilyn Monroe together. So look at that. So Marilyn Monroe's Venus. Oh, let's just do it the other way around. So yeah, okay, this is Marilyn Monroe's chart, her ascendant, Leo rising, and this is Anna Nicole's chart. So this is how, if they were like interacting, how they would affect each other. And look, interesting how Nicole's chart was like ruled by Venus, and it's all Venusian themes and themes of like that striving towards beauty and comfort and values, and you know, this very feminine, but also in Libra, Venus in Libra is like it's dignified, it knows what it's doing, and can talk about it, communicate and deal with it. And you know, sometimes beauty has its standards, things have a standard. And it's interesting how whatever was driving Anna Nicole, even though it wasn't her relationship house, it was in Aries, and coincidentally, Anna Nicole's North Node in Aries is on Marilyn Monroe's Venus in Aries, literally almost 1 degree difference. And opposing that, we have Anna Nicole's Venus and Juno and the South Node. It's just, and the moon. I mean, they are, Anna Nicole and Marilyn Monroe, they are the two, like, visually could be similar, right? But they're not. They're not similar. They are like actually the opposite versions of that Venus. They're the opposite version of that Venus, you know, and whatever that means to have, you know, a female presence, a relationship, understanding, relating. It's incredible. And look, guys, their moons are in a trine, so it's all idea. It's an idea of this, like, it's the utopian idea about a perfect relationship that can work. You can be best friends. You can be good communicators. You can understand and cherish and appreciate one another. And I mean, they would definitely have a lot to discuss here in this regard. I mean, I would sign up for the podcast. Marilyn Monroe and Anna Nicole talking about relationships. Sign me up. I'm gonna listen. What a wonderful balance of energies. And what is the relationships of their Mars planets? And yeah, well, Anna Nicole will definitely bring Marilyn Monroe down to earth. Oh God, she will tell her how it is. I would look at that. But yeah, Anna Nicole, she's got a square between Mars and the North Node. Don't know how long that podcast series is gonna last. So what do you think? Did you enjoy this astrology investigation? Did you guys learn anything interesting, or you guys want to have some clarifications and comment? comments. You can always support this channel if you like and you all are inspired and excited for the next videos. It's so easy. You can just press subscribe, like, and share, or put a heart in the comments, and let's chat about these two beautiful, interesting ladies. You know, God rest their souls. Left us early, but still, you know, a lot of interesting questions I see come up with this. I think I'm just gonna name relationship saga. And Nicole Smith versus Marilyn Monroe. Thank you very much for being here. Appreciate you, and lots of love, and take care of yourself, and we'll see you in the new video. Bye bye.